しゃー、久しぶりです皆さん。記憶の宮殿。難しそうだな。俺でいいかなこれ。四角で固定すると。ザ・シャドウ・オーバーロード。
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here, on the table.
Let us see what the postman brought today.
ゲームへようこそ。移動するには L スティックを使い、対象とインタラクトするには丸を押す。お、すげえ、ちゃんと動くんだ。
This mess is getting out of hand. What will the landlady think?
Shimbun。おお、もう早速。なるほど。視点を動かす。殺されたんじゃね？
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting.
ほっ。
Your order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
Another letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming. I don't see the strand. Where is it?
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick.
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
Ha.ドワイトみたい。終わりやん。
A cactus spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool. You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil. See, Watson? The conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
これだけです。
Do you even have enemies that would want to kill you? Okay, perhaps from Cordona.
Get the strand. Get your copy of the strand here. Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
Any breaking news today?
The dock accident. It's the talk of the town.
Yes. Besides the tripe on the front page, anything about burglaries?
I'm not sure, sir.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on around here?
Nothing gets past me, mister.
Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson?
Sure, now I can take the day off.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. Did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears, if you have more shillings.
ここは入れたりはしないか。 本屋、お、本が。
Impressive stature, strong gaze. I think this man deserves a knighthood.
Really, Holmes? How can you be so sure?
On rare occasions, Watson, it can suffice to trust one's gut.
Ko yaanam shigai mitai ni ire kumdeんだ。ちょぼちょぼちょぼちょぼ。なこれ。ああ、固定するってやつか。謎解きか。休憩中。広いな。上がれない。
How about that Vogel fellow? He seems rather obsessed with you. Would he do something like this?やばい、寄ってきた。寄ってきた。そんな木立ち見たかったのこれ。
とこただ走り回ってるだけだから実質無料みたいなもんね。これ何ワープできんの？あ、ワープできるわ。休憩中。
My gratitude, Sir Arthur. I know it. I just need one more piece to crack the case.
ちょっと休憩。いやー、初めてのゲームダメだな。もっとすぐ寄って。なんで酔うんだろうか。ああ、なるほど。こうやってやるのね。
Mr. Holmes' murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
it, the Strand. Get your copy of the Strand here. I'll stand watch, just in case the strange man comes back. Why don't you give me another shilling now? Because I'm sure I'll spot something else soon. No?
The weather is dreary, isn't it? To be fair, my flowers could use the rain.
Hello there. What's your name?
I should have... Lily. I know, not very original. People don't tend to come out for flowers when it rains. Perhaps I should try selling door to door.
お、休憩中終わってる。
Why go through all this scheming to murder you? A spine stuck to the newspaper is hardly lethal.
確かにね、それは気になってたんだよ。あ、やだね。インクそんなの身長高く見せようとしてる。よいしょ。
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
逃げた。
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you coming.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the...
10ヶ月後。
How about we reschedule in a month or two?
Come now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him out.
Apologies, but I can't hear you. Please come back later.
The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
おお。
The ladder is broken recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
わ、すげえ。ループ。
So, Barnes has a dog now. Who's a good boy? I could hardly imagine anything more macabre. basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
エジプト暗号学やって。ちょっとな、外来種、まずちょっとわかんないな。もうわかんのかな。
The finest view London has to offer. In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done.
へえ、
Wonder
そう
who
だ。
the recipient is. An improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
こんなもんか。
Barnes has always been a little odd, but this is uncharacteristic even for him.
ル
We're looking for a cactus needle in a haystack. A spine in a book stack? No, come on, Watson, think.
Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns. Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses.
怒られそう。
Our national emblem. God save the Queen.
It must
Oh.
take patience and care to
Saboten
produce
da.
a bloom so beautiful.
I imagine so. I merely sell them.
Familiar spine? That's what I found in my dustbin. Familiar spine?
お、折れて
What
る。
is damaged? The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
あ、花じゃなくてこの人もね。なんつった。遠い。どっか見てんのか。すごいな。店に来てから履き替えた。あ、これなんか違う方になるんだ。フレミング。
Mrs. Fleming, You look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
証拠を提示する。
I'll be off.
ああ、去っちゃった。証拠。
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
サボテンって毒あんだ。
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless. Though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right. Are you sure you're asking the right person?
Don't,
I'm
it's
just a flower seller.
証拠。俺探偵じゃないけどこれ。
I'm afraid I can't help with
あ、
Mr. Holmes.
人物像も証拠になるのか
I don't know anything about this, sorry.
な。なんないの。
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course, but we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog, and most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached. But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
I like bookshops. One of the few spots in London where you are shunned for making a racket.
Have a look at my flowers. They will not bite unless you touch their thorns.
Room. さて。あれ、ダメだ。バーンズに対するフレミング、バーンズに対する。 難しいな。奇妙な。まだ足りないのかな、情報。バーンズが届けた本。あ、いや多分俺がただバカなだけですげえ簡単なんだろうけど、奇妙な行動をとってる理由。暗号は俺が奇妙。暗号学ミスリードっぽいよな。でも毒が塗られてるサボテンも怪しいけど、ちょっと暗号やってみようか。あ、ダメだ。あ、読む。でもこれ基本情報だな。バーンズの付け合った外来植物。壁には亀裂があり強く。あ、これじゃね？あ、やっぱこれだ。動画も疲れんだよこれ。あ、そういう見方もあるのね。はいはいはい。注意を引かせるために。注文したサブテンを富士に送った。送り物し。ああ、なるほどね。
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Mr. Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled. You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
All right, then.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus in your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive. Your clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts. And
これができたら苦労しないんだよな。
what is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally.
帽子かぶって
I
る。
am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh no, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
書籍。
Come, Dr. Watson. Let us put this matter behind us.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
let me know if there's any way I can make it up to you. Tell you what, tomorrow's edition of The Strand is on me.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was
roll the
certain
Hathami.
of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
俺の専門外だけど。
Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But...
It's brilliant. Let's go.
Oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
こっち
Not much further now.
これかあ、開いてるわ。
Is this lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart?
堕落。
Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you
俺がわか
about.
んねえからまとめられるわけ
At
ねえ
last,
だ
a
ろ。
professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. It's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
なぜ
Why has the police
So
department
shy.
decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson,
古いゲーム
real
だから。
crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find Kimahia breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick.
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony. Then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant, so that he may begin his
失踪
investigation.
者を見つけてみせましょう。
Quite right. Fire away.
キミヒアが失踪した日
When
時
did
を
you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign.
ないね。
A Maori, all the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen.
マオリ人だって、あれどっから聞いたな。
Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a
異
glance.
常はなかった部屋はこいつから見れば異常あるかもしれないしな。逃げたりは
Is there any reason Kimahir may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and
Cabbage.
all the cabbage he could eat.
I take it this is the first time Kimahir has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
Did Kimahir make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No, no. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
さあ調べようか。小屋行こうか。裏手って言ったら小屋か。部屋にすら入れてもらえない。なんだこれ。
Chewing tobacco.
紙タバコ。お、足跡。
A shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
でっか。これ以上上行けないのか。ここら辺の周囲か。これももやもやこれアメーバなんだろう。流してくとダメだ。これなんだろうな。それ何かないとダメかな。これ以上調べるもんない。これ以上上まで見れないからな。アメーバなんか書いてたよな。あったと。集中モードを起動する。ルーム。こうか。
Looks like a knee print. Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
うわぁ。次おーい、そういうことか。あれ、次。あ、これで終わり。 れがルーム。ルームだと調べる場所がわかる。
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
小屋です。
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
頭を打ちつけた。ん？これか？
A small navy spyglass.
へえ。ルーム。
No air coming through it.
What is this? 卵?
A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
重厚な化学物質。
I'll never forget that smell after my time
麻薬。
in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
初めて聞いたけどオピオイド。
Button chops. The remains of a meal. The ashes are long since cold.
はい。冷え切った灰。麻薬。マトンチョップ。
Is this a Tanifa, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills.
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
やっぱマオリってあれだよな、民族だよ。
Stenwick makes a servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
あれこっちなんかあった。
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
あれあれブワーンってないんだよ。イメージ図。水平の後シャリね。これ
Do you think Kimmy here had an accomplice in his escape?
キミヒヤの痕跡はどこに続いている？これまだ前のやつ残ってるのが邪魔だな。 あと物的証拠は2つ。全部だからこれ足りねえ。証拠が足りません。ルーム。
I will not be long, Captain.
何の証拠？
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes. Where on earth are you going with this? I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
これだよ。平行の線はもう新しい。これじゃないのか。これだ。
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden. I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
何の証拠だ？君らがどっか行った証拠？
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes, I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting. Where on earth are you going with this?
重要だろこれ。
Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimihir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Yes, Denwick is no angel, but he's one of my few clients. Please, try to remain courteous.
No air coming
Shambles.
through.
おいし終わらないで。 人形？あああ銅像の場所ってどこよ？ここ？ここそもそも集中マーク出てねえしな。ルーム。
Why are you still here?
あ？
If you find my man, I have a marvelous whiskey with your name on it.
え？あ、違う違う違う。終わり？なわけないよね。いや、これしかないんだけど。おー。これじゃね。これだ。やばい。物的証拠は足りねえ。なんでこんなとこに？
A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
まさかまだ何か。くるくるくるくるくるくるくるくるくる。あ、
A Maori nose
なんもねえわ。
Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly?
あ、なんか3つ目来た。3つ目来たけど、集中モードの使い方がさ、 って倒れた。引きずってわーっつって同じやんけ、倒れたと。だなぁ。確かに。
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
Oh. 鍵の跡なくなってる。変わった形で左に曲がってる。左か。なんだ。どけ。開けたな。二つ目ってどこだっけかな。二つ目ってあれ麻薬のとこかな。
No air coming through it. No air coming through it. Is this a Tanifa, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
こいつだね。こいつの二つ目がなんかよく分かってないけど。あ、これだ。やっぱ続きこう。
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
塞いだ。塞いで殺した。お、弾。あ、これか。弾か。なんか刺したんか。あと一つがね、集中ポジションあんだけどね、どこだろうね。違うかな。物的証拠も相変わらず増えねえけど。 証拠を見つけました。
Are you joking?
これじゃないの？
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahia's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it. This dreary rain is making a miserable day even...
ストーカー？鍵穴見てみるか。
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
え？ディズニーつむつむしたんだけど。わかんねえ。何を見てないのかわかんねえ。そもそも5つ埋まらない？これなんだろうね。一応出るんだけどね。集中モード中証拠を固定する必要がある。あ、これ固定しなきゃダメかな。証拠か。これかな。違う。あ、こっち？あ、こっちか。こっちか。なんで？こう？あ、投げ入れた側。
The rag. なんか固定しないとダメなのか。鍵の固定してみっか。これなんだろう。いや、鍵固
固定してもな。これ見たしな。これ何固定すればいいか分かんないんだよね。全部固定するだって水平の後でもこれはもう全部やるか。これじゃない。物的証拠がないんで、あれです。これです、やっぱ。これなんとかしないと。じゃあもうルームなんも出ねえもんな。
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
俺もだよ。あれさ、無駄だ。全部固定するか。じゃあね、もう一回。水平の後車輪でしょ。水平の後車輪つったよな。待って、この屋敷から出るってことはないよな。なるほど。いや、頑張ってます。難しいな、これ。ねえよ。屋敷の外出ますって言って。
Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
ルームないね。
This disappearance is intriguing, no? I cannot make head nor tail of it.
なるほど、外ね。おい、誰だ。ずるいやつに塞がれてるわ。ずるいなこれ。あ、ダメだこれ。いた方にある。ここにある。通せもできる。上は集中マークだ。 そうそうそうそう。ちょっとルームに頼りすぎてる。でもルームは絶対なんだよな。
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really the
この
same
笛
miser?
あ、望遠鏡なんか言ってたっけか。望遠鏡あった。ちょっと固定してみっか。望遠鏡固定してもなんもなんない。望遠鏡は証拠品だけか。関連した証拠を固定していると集中モードで操作すべき点が出現する。かもな。ああ、そうっぽいかもな。ルームじゃないこれ。これじゃない。こっちかな。あ、出た。カビが生えて壊れてしばらく使われてない。カビが生えて、いやー、有能探偵見せちゃったよな、ちょっとこれ。カビが生えてこれもなんかもうちょっとしないとダメなの。出たけどいや見れなく。これ以上集中当てないな。そう、再現するのが出ねえのよ。ちょっと一応。はい。 からのか、からのコンボで。こっちだ。コツはつかめてきた。わかりません。
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
あ、惜しいんだよな。あと一歩、あと一歩。もう証拠がわかりません。誰か攻略サイト。誰か攻略サイト。これなんかコンボすんの？これアイコン付きの証拠で。これあれ今ちょっと待って、なんか証拠は現場を調べる、集中を使う、記録保管庫で調査する、この証拠の使い道を見つける。あ、そう あ、オプション、あ、オプションこれだもんな。物的証拠がないんですよ。本当に。誘拐事件。え？
This disappearance is intriguing, though. I cannot make head nor tail of it.
お、なんだ？水平の後、頻繁に使われている。ここには草が生えていない。
Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
小屋近くに薪が話したり、誰かが落としたかのようだ。みたいな線が残っていた。これあれかな、薪も見たけど、薪見たよ。薪が散乱したよ。何に運んでんのかな。確定する？ああ、どれが正しいかを確定しろってこと？あ、そういうことね。あ、これだろ。あ、そういうことね。あ、食べ物でもなく、一人で何かやってたわけでもなく、あ、ちょっと、動かないで。はい。これが、あ、これ、確定。あ、わかったわかったわかった。間違ってるやつがあるのか。俺、そうか、そういうことね。動画選んじゃったんだ。これだ。で、これはこれにしといて。これか？これだ。これは自分で出たんじゃなくて、誰か変態のやつが開けたと。
Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity.
ああ、ルールが分かってきた。
Here went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped
多分
narcotics
チュートリア
down
ル
the
やってるん
chimney
だけど。
pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
はい。 力見せちゃったかな。
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know. Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly,
短時間でここまでの推理を行う僕に
Every second you dawdle
何か言うことあるないん
here
ですか
waiting for me to stroke your ego is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy.
事
And
件
go and
の
fetch my
解決の
servant.
次は捜索？今何と言ったの？どれ選んでも進むけどどうしようかな。支援機を頼む。
Captain, you are so addled by delusions of competency that you miss the blindingly obvious. Without the assistance of others, you are utterly incapable. Kimahir endured your nonsense far longer than I will.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity. Are you stupid, Mr. Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
さあ、有能なホームズは走って現場に向かいます。ルームだからよ、全然あの壁に書かれたやつも違和感だ始まりなのかな。取れる鍵意味あったか。まあいいか。そんな高速フラグ管理。
Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed. You think you know someone.
次の目的は探すって言ったけど、あ、いやこれ集中モードじゃない。これ、あ、これじゃない。あ、これじゃないか。これじゃない。あれ、 っちじゃない？あ、なんか出てる、新しいの。じゃあこれまだクリアしてない。物的証拠がねえからまだ続いてる。誘拐犯の特徴は、まあ望遠鏡。これはこれも一応言えるのか。誘拐犯の特徴は、特徴ね。はい、足がでかいのは君部屋だよ。紙タバコ。違う。まあいいか。証拠がね、何より証拠で。待って待って待って。え、あ、これか？あ、
Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimihia's cart, I gather. Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. It's not as often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair.
お、なんだこれ。
Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man?
あ、なに、まだある。
A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say.
硝石。
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
捜査完了したって。あ、これ一発やったね。これじゃないね。あ、合ってた。これが間違ってるのか。いや、だから、頑張ってます。そうなんないように、ちょっと。あ、逆に観察結果間違ってなんか。痕跡はどこに続いてるでしょう。誘拐犯の特徴は？誘拐犯の特徴は？誘拐犯の特徴？船乗りと足29センチ違うって。 だろう。誘拐犯の特徴ってなんだよ。これだって29センチ。ああ。まということでね。
The strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident, Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
靴って
Indeed.
さすがに29のセンチなんかいないか。靴がでかかっただけか。押しちゃう。お、あれか、子供の遊びかな。ああ、これ戻るんか。
Are you stupid, Mr.
Huh?
Holmes? Stop loitering and go and do your job.
何あ、言ってた。これパパシャどこだ。あ、君か君だ。
May I ask for your assistance?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
ね
Do you know anything about this?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
ああ、今これ固定してるからか。でもあの人何。
Let's just go. Stenwick wanted results, not pleasantries.
Are you able to help me?
I'm really sorry, but I can't help you. Try asking someone else.
?なんかわかんないからいいや。証拠切り替えって言っても、ああ、そういうこと。了解しました。
Do you know anything about this?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Are you able to help me?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
違うね。これだ。
Do you know anything about this?
I can't help you with that, sir.
じゃあこいつ
Excuse me, just one question.
It's a shame I can't answer.
こいつらダメだ。なんかどっかこれについて知ってる人。
Excuse me, just one question.
Sorry, sir. Can't help you.
馬車がない。あ、君か。乗れない乗れない。あ、離れると戻ることはできます。スイカと終了させてから。
Where to go? The Port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
まあ特に未練はないんだよな、このゲームは。結構簡単ですね。 日はここまでかな。
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
ワトソン。
On kidnapping does
おい、
not
俺こんな帽子にしてねえぞ。
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
did not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are
Oh,
mere
来た。
fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind.
脆弱な精神が作り
Would
出した。
keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps before the
これ
war.
バトル始まりそう
My
なカメ
time
ラワー
abroad
ク。
was difficult. Once I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into
何
my
このカ
hand.
メラワーク。
A gift, he said, so as to gain God's
絶対
favor
戦うじゃん。
after that.
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued.
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimahir?
僕の操作の邪魔をしなければいいだそうです。邪魔すんなよ、俺の操作。俺の操作邪魔すんなよ。めっちゃ嫌がられる。
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying at home.
家に閉じこもってるのか。じゃあ終わりましょう。シャーロックは周囲の人々や人間に証拠について尋ねることができる。早速名刺で試してみよう。じゃあここで名刺だけセットして終わりましょうか。